and that's kind of what they giving them. When you see people on the street with face masks, waving Mexican flags, like that ain't gonna fly over optically. Like you wanting to be in this country and you waving another flag and you destroying property and stuff. All them people want is a reason. These National Guard people, these they sit around waiting for shit like this, like wishing. Like they say, wish a nigga would, so they love to be out there to go in there full uniform, rubber bullets, gas, and use all their equipment and toys that just been sitting in the lockers and shit. They love it. So the protest is like, if we don't got weapons that match the weapons, I think it's kind of futile. You're gonna get hurt. They're gonna look for a reason to kill you. People got their mask on. That's why they arrested them, because then they can't do facial recognition and really get your ass up out of here, because they're employing that too, where they're using the facial recognition. They finding people and they're gonna ban you from the country from good. So I think just revolutionary shit in America in general has to evolve. Like the protest in the street, the marching in the street days are done, because we ain't got the artillery to go against them. And we keep seeing time and time again that, they've been doing this since the water hose and the dogs. Like, they're going to use that shit against you. Now they're way more advanced with what they can do with the gases, the nerve gases, and all of this shit. So, I just think everybody needs their own leader, and they need leader to do coordinated strikes, coordinated attacks, and not attacks, because you don't want to attack these people either. Because, like I say, they have a reason justified to use heavy force. And I haven't seen protests of this sort in our country work in a long time, which is kind of the theme of our topic. Like, what's the point of it? And I shared, I don't know if you got it, G, in our chat, the announcement of Trump announced today that he wants to reinstate the Confederate names of places that were removed and taken.
Oh yeah, I saw that link that you posted.
And, so people protested for that. It was protests for statues, pulling stuff and all that. So if that's just easily reinstated again, that's another thing showing that it didn't work. So I don't know in recent history of a major protest. People talk about Target, which I kind of think Target is fine. Like they might have lost a little bit, but overall they fine. Like Target ain't going nowhere. I've been going to Target. Niggas are still, black people still in there strolling through. Like, it's all good. And maybe they still in more. Who knows? But a physical protest, only protest I see work is economic protests, economic strikes. Things that really affect money, affect the government. People not going to work for a few weeks, shutting cities down for real, like, just real coordinated stuff, but all getting congregated in the street and making yourself a target for bullets and gas and batons and shit. Them days is dead, man. Like, in America, at least. It might work in some other countries where they have millions and thousands of people that can outnumber their police force. They can just go keep sending waves in the U.S.
Yeah, because over in Kenya not that long ago, when they tried to raise taxes and then people went crazy and they actually rolled that back too. They was like, all right, y'all got it.
Places like that, they got the numbers. They got the numbers, one, and then two, their cops, their army people, they getting paid pennies too. So a lot of them are only gonna go so hard. They like the security guards at the clothing store. It's like, that's my sister over there, that's my brother over there. They black too. And here I am getting paid. So they only gonna go so hard. They got guns and shit, but it'd be one cop versus 100 people. They get outnumbered over there quickly because they have big numbers over there. Here, the majority of our populace is not going outside. We watch on TV as the minority goes and protests and like, damn, that's crazy. And, we do the whole Dochi thing and whatever. But unless everybody in America gets outside, that's the only way shit will really change, because they got to affect everybody. But if you go outside in your daily life, niggas is jogging, niggas is eating, going to brunch and shit, and then a small amount of people are protesting. All right, let me get on the highway. Let me go around this shit. I got something to do. I got to go to the mall. So until like we get major numbers out in the street, it's futile. It's because it's too small of people. You can't outnumber the cops, you know. But if you get everybody, then you gotta like really fuck with your capitalism because you can't kill everybody. You can't gas everybody. But these small little minorities, we just keep making examples out of them so the rest of y'all stay in the house. That's the difference between us and these other countries. Is when they protest, everybody be out there.
And that's one thing I was going to add. I mean, that was a great point. Are we talking about protests here or in different countries? Because
we talking about here. I was just using that
let's say here for conversation purposes. Yeah.
Because you could look to the Arab Spring. That was 2010, 2011, where those protests actually overthrew several governments in the Middle East. The Arab Spring. You can look it up. But here, I don't think there's enough. And I think it's one of the things, you'll hear the right talk about a lot with that Second Amendment and not just the right to bear arms, but the militancy that comes with it. And I think even if you look up like militias in America, they all going to look a certain way. They all going to have certain values. And those are the values that you see being pushed right now. And I ain't saying there's a correlation between them, but like I don't think protests, even if you look at them on a mass scale, there's no militancy behind it. The governments just laugh at protests nowadays.
Let me ask y'all this, right? When it comes to protests, you could do different things, but if you had to choose one or the other, would you go violent versus non-violent, or let me say peaceful versus non-peaceful? Might be a better way to frame it, because violent usually insinuates hurting other people, whereas I think peaceful versus unpeaceful or non-peaceful would be more like maybe causing disturbing the community, if you will, but not really up people specifically. Yeah. So I'm not here to advocate like people up, but if y'all think that's what the best type of protest is, then so be it. But if you had to choose peaceful protests versus non-peaceful protests, what do you think is going to be a more effective type of protest in terms of getting to a result?
I think first off, it depends on what you protesting, because if it's something crazy, your daughter